We begin today's recording by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we are on. I am on Burrawang land. Where are you, Breeza?
I am on the land of the Djajarurrung people.
We pay our respects to the elders past and present and extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who are tuning in today.
And wherever you're listening to the potty today, make sure you know whose land you're on. Join us each week for some booze-free banter about life without booze.
If you're entertaining cutting back your booze by a day, a week, a month, or for the rest of your life, we would love for you to tune in.
Buckle up and come along for a ride that may just change your life. If any of today's conversations have been triggering, please reach out to your local support centre in Australia. That is Lifeline 131114.
All right. What are you drinking up there, Breeza?
Well, I am remote today, Maso. Yes, I'm in Northern Territory in Darwin. So
in the
top end. I actually went hunting for some Altina the other day, but I couldn't find any, which is a bit of a bugger. So I've actually opted for a lime and jalapeno little number. I don't know if you can see that, but I've been frothing jalapenos lately. So it's a brand called Strange Love. Get amongst that, peeps. No discount codes.
Nice. A little bit of a...
Don't sponsor our potty. But what are you drinking, Mason? Let's talk about Altina.
Yes, let's talk about Altina, our potty podcast partners. I'm on the Kakadu Plum, which is quite appropriate, Kakadu, up there.
Correct.
Top end, Kakadu.
Love that.
Yeah. And they have given us discount code. What is it, Breeza?
They sure have. It's range. A huge 15% off the entire range, and it's BFB 15. And where can they find that, Maso? Where can they shop?
At shop up a storm at www.altinadrinks.com. We love you, Altina.
Thanks, Altina. Maso.
Breeza. Hello, mate.
Hello, how are you?
This is so amazing.
I am in the top end. I am so lucky that I'm up here in the Victorian winter, getting some little bit of vitamin D, which is so delicious. The weather. Actually, I've never been up in Darwin in the dry. I've always been I've been up here heaps of times, but it's always sort of September to January I've been up here. So it's a totally different experience. It's not humid, like you're sweating, dripping off you. It's just a pleasant temperature. Day and night.
This for you. You look so good. You're just glowing. You just look rancho relaxo, just happy, just in your element.
Yeah, it's so sunny and warm outside. It's just delicious. It's the best. And I actually timed it. I fluked it that I was up here for Territory Day, which is a celebration of Northern Territory becoming independent from the Commonwealth. And it's a day where you can just go and anyone can go and buy fireworks and let them off. So it's pretty wild. I just want to show you. So I don't know, you're across the NT News, like the paper it's a local paper up here and it's iconic with its front cover spreads. So this is what was on the paper yesterday. Just read it out, May, so if you can read that. It says crack a night.
Crack a night, firework mishap injures men. Slim and lion.
Loin.
Sorry, loin.
Downstairs. They're loins. They're loins. So, yeah, a guy actually lost his hand. So his arm was severed at the elbow while another had metal removed from his groin. So that was amongst, I think it was like 100 hospital, 100 other injuries as well. So it's pretty wild.
Jesus. The reason that I gave it a bit of lion is normally on the front of that NT News is something about a croc. There's always a croc conversation.
Correct.
So I was like, oh my God, there's someone with
there's a lion now.
Lion. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's a lion on the prowl. But he's blowing his limbs off and he's loin.
Yeah.
That's hectic.
Yeah, hectic. So I could talk about Darwin. This whole potty, but I'll take it all up. So tell me about you. How are you?
Yeah, I've had a really busy week actually. I've been out and about in a big way. Last week was the launch of Pash.
Yes, tell us all about that. So just say that again, sorry, because you were just say that again. Who was it by?
Dropped out because I was
You're
Dr.
down.
Matt Agnew. Yeah, sorry about that. Got away from the mic, got away from me. So these are Dr. Matt Agnew and his business partners, Sam and Emma. They're beautiful, aren't they? They're your colour, aren't they, Breeza? They're real pop.
They're gorgeous.
Clean and fresh, easy ale. Yep, they're they had their launch night at Abacus, which is on Chapel Street in Melbourne, Paran. The who's who was there. Everyone was there. There was Sam Wood, there was Tully, there was Dilrook, Jill Stark, there was Connie, there was all batchy people. Like, it was real up and about. So yeah, we'll be talking to Matt really soon. He's going to come on the pod, and it was really interesting to hear Sam and Emma's story as well. They're business partners, so that was really interesting to hear how Hash was born. So
it's a non-alcoholic beer.
That was really good. Yeah? Non-alcoholic beer. Yep. And in fact, Sam was saying that Dill said Dill couldn't drink it because it was so close to like perfectly imitating like Carlton Draft or Dilrook's choice of beer. He couldn't actually drink it. Isn't that mad?
Wow, that's a compliment, isn't it? If you're
exactly, to replicate that. So that was a huge compliment for him. And then on Saturday night, randomly, went with a friend. We went to dinner in the city, and then we went to a replay comedy night at Comedy Republic. We ran into Ned Brockman, which was really cool. Got a picky with Ned. That was super cool. And also they stock Etch behind the bar, and also Liars, and some really other yummy non-alcoholic beverages, which blows my mind. Something so small like a Comedy Republic and these little venues are stocking non-alcs, but your big ones like Marvel Stadium and MCG are just don't. Like, it's mad, isn't it?
Huge disconnect there, isn't it? So I think that's also been a product of the movement in the comedy space in terms of there more and more sober comedians, so they're accommodating for their needs as well, which is amazing.
You're exactly right. Like, we had Kirsty Weebeck on, and her shows will probably be by now as well, but yeah, she's on heaps normal, so they are making a lot of noise in that space and really catering for that, so it's great.
So good to hear.
So good. So yeah, I've been
you've been busy
socialite.
That's funny. I was actually having this conversation with my friend who I'm up here with, Fee, and we're saying how much we've done in the last few days. And I was saying, we've done so much wholesome activities, and we're in bed sort of at 10:30 at night, ready our books, and then we're up again early in the morning and doing it all again. Like, we're fitting so much in because we're not our normal, 10 years ago would have been completely get hammered, spend the day in bed feeling sorry for yourself. And so it's such a nice different experience is being up here not drinking.
The incredible different experience as well. Like, were you nervous going into that as well? Because it's such a different.
No, and when I should actually say I had a beer the other night, but there's been no even desire to go beyond that.
That's so good.
And I think having Fee here as well, she's on the same page as me. So we're not, we want to do fun stuff during the day. So
yeah, milk the day, eat up the day.
Yes.
And I think because I don't know, have you ever been concerned about the gear shift or the different shape your friendships would take with you being off the piss, Breeza?
I mean, with Fee, I know that because she's not really drinking as well. So I'm like, we're going to have the same experience together. So yeah, it hasn't really. That didn't even enter my mind, really. No.
Yeah, that's so good. I love that.
So
wholesome memories.
Loving it. Actually, guess who we're seeing on Friday night?
Tell me.
Ash Grunwald.
Oh,
yeah.
Danny Carr, we've had him on the pod.
Yes, we had Danny on the pod. So, yeah, he's performing up here Friday night. So he would have already performed, obviously, once his potty drops. But I'll try and muscle my way in and say g'day.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, that's so good. How exciting. Getting right amongst it. So good. You're gonna have shame on it.
Well, this actually comes from, it could be a friend, it could be a listener. And I may have been there, I may not have been there, is all I'll say. But it was... I don't know what year it was, but it was, remember like Peaches and Cream Festival in Cobram? I think it was in Cobram, that one. There was Peaches and Cream and there was another one. Anyway, this person, obviously you're drinking. Her and her friend decided that it would be a good idea to swim across the Murray River.
Oh.
Now, in the night when they were drunk. So at nighttime, dark when they were drunk. Now, for our listeners who are not familiar with the Murray River, it's a body of water between New South Wales and Victoria, and it has a very dangerous current. Like, you have to be a reasonable to strong swimmer to swim across it. I've never even swum across it, Maso. Like, it's not something I'm like, okay, let's swim across it. I'm sure I could do it, but it's not something I wanted to do because the current is, pretty strong. Anyway, so they got across to the one side, and I said to her, what did you do when you got across? And she's like, well, we had to swim back. So they swam back, but when they got back, she got out and then couldn't find her friend, was yelling out, couldn't find her friend in the dark. And then she found her friend, I don't know how many minutes later, but she was like way down the river and climbing up the bank. Yeah. And I was just saying to this person, I was like, we are so lucky that we are still here to tell these stories, because what reckless behaviour that was.
Yeah, that is a lot. And it's probably a story close to home, actually. I've had a friend that I went to school with, Brendan Hope, may he rest in peace. Hopey was playing tennis, not tennis, throwing the ball for the dog. The Murray River was right in the banks of Murray, but like pretty much that was his front yard. Yeah, and he obviously got caught in a bit of a snag and ended up drowning at like he was 20, I think, because it was one of our other friends' 21st. So that's how easily the Murray River is a really dangerous, super dangerous pit of world. Brendan, who lived on that bank, he grew up with it his whole life, it snapped him up. And to swim, mum's always said to me, never ever mix alcohol and water, because, well, actually her dad died in the Warcool River, fell out of his fishing boat and drowned because he was drunk. So water and alcohol don't mix, but you think you're good to go. Like, totally, you do. Totally. 100%. Actually, I had a friend pass away, sorry, now that we're on this conversation, Lizzie Carey, and may she rest in peace, last year was on the Gold Coast and went in for a swim at 3:00 in the morning after a boozy night and didn't come out.
It's just awful, isn't it?
So you're exactly right, Breeza. Like, so lucky, our listeners who share that story to tell a tale, to be here to tell a tale. And
you really are playing a Russian roulette, aren't you, with your life?
100%.
Swimming when you're drunk.
Seems like a good idea. That's that silly, like, the prefrontal cortex.
Prefrontal cortex,
yeah.
Packed its bags and gone home.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. I'm glad they're still alive to tell the tale too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Over to you, mate.
Thanks, mate. Mine is many, many moons ago when I was going back to the UK. You'd always have a welcome home party and a farewell party, wouldn't you, whenever you came back and left? This particular time I was in Melbourne, just absolutely off chops, and my farewell party was actually in Bendigo, so I had to make my way back to Bendigo, but we'd been on a massive bender. I couldn't even tell you what was going on. I just remember my friend saying to me, Maso, everyone is ringing you. You are late to your own farewell party. And I couldn't have given a fuck, because I was so happy in my own little space, just getting high, just thinking, calm down, Kevin. Like, I'll be there soon. Like, what's the big fuss? Everyone was at this place to do farewell me, and I hadn't even left Melbourne.
MIA.
I was 4 hours late to my own farewell party and just didn't know what all the big fuss was, because I was so selfish in my own little space, just getting high, and that was more important. And I just didn't even have a gauge on what that would have been like for other people, because I was too... This is important. This is I need to do this. This is what I'm doing. So I can really... It kind of really, I think, as the conversations that we've had with guests that we've had on with addiction, and one of the strongest words with addicts is selfish. They're really selfish. And I'm like, I get that. In fact, I was going to tell a bit of a story about how the invisible line and how potentially I could have crossed it if the podcast didn't come along.
Yeah.
I had a real moment recently about that, and I really want to thank you for that, Breeza, because I think my life would have been very, very different had the potty not come along, because I think I would have crossed that line from misuse. Yep. From misuse to dependency. Like, what if
mate.
You know what I mean?
It's a massive thing to admit.
Yeah, which we'll talk about it in another pod, which I've been unpacking a little bit recently, about my behaviours of alcohol and where it's at and what my brain thought was, and it's very alcoholic thought processes or behaviours. So it could have been really. So you saved my life, my friend. You saved my life.
Oh, mate, that's a big call, but
no, it's
thank
true.
you for saying it.
True.
I always say that. Like, you could have said nah, but
no.
Yeah, you've carried on, and look where you are now, nearly 2 years without booze, Maso.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thank you. And trying to be better at not being late to stuff.
Yeah.
Because I always prioritize just getting hammered or just even running to, like, you've had a beautiful time at the airport the other day, didn't you? But you weren't having to chase.
Oh, didn't I? Yeah. Had a great little time bouncing around the airport.
Yeah.
And then finally settled and was reading my book. Yeah.
Oh, and like the amount of times that I used to get paged because I was too busy smashing 2 more glasses of rosé. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was really important. And, you know, it was
Just
more
sitting
important.
there.
Sitting there. It was more important for me to swill that piss and get that rosé in, not worrying about how that's going to delay the network or anything. Like, it didn't, but you'd always get paged. Like, who's doing that?
I know.
Ridiculous.
I know. When I was on the plane coming up here, there was a fella behind me. I was overhearing his conversation with some random on the plane, and he was saying he was coming up here for a 30th, for like 4 days. And he's like, we're going straight to the pub tonight. Da, da, da. And I'm like, mate, I've been there. Like, I've been, going to Darwin or Gold Coast, wherever it was, just for that 4-night madness, 4 nights of madness, or three nights of madness, 4 days of madness. Don't see anything really. You don't learn anything. You're just sitting, you're going from pub to pub. Yeah, thinking piss. And don't get me wrong, you're having laughs, you are, and you're talking about those evenings for years to come, but you don't realise what you're missing out on.
Correct. Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. And it's one thing that still grinds my gears. I've shared it before about Iceland, and I'd bullied everyone into doing a pub crawl, and I just have felt so shit about that to this day, that we were just sitting in a pub drinking games in Iceland when we still got around, we still got out and about, but just sitting in a pub, like, there could have been so much more that we could have been doing. Do you know what I mean? Totally. I'm so full of regret, and I still feel such a pain in my heart that I'm just like, that was just such a wasted opportunity. Just a moment in time where alcohol was louder. Yeah. Yep. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Way to put it. So, thank you for sharing, Maso. Thank you for sharing, mate. Yes. Do you want to introduce our topic today? Because you threw this out there. I'm like, great topic, Maso. Let's hit it. Let's hit it. All right. We're talking about hangovers, Breeza. Let's talk about it. So should we talk about what actually is a hangover? Should we unpack a little bit? All right. So a hangover, standing by while I just go through this. So a number of factors can contribute to hangovers: mild dehydration. Alcohol suppresses the release of a vasopressin, a hormone produced by the brain that sends signals to the kidneys, causing them to retain fluid. As a result, alcohol increases urination and excess loss of fluids. So you're just dehydrated. What are the symptoms of a hangover? Depression, anxiety, irritability, disturbed sleep, dizziness and vertigo. Fatigue, weakness, headache, red eyes, sensitivity to light and sound, increased pulse and blood pressure, rapid heartbeat, muscle aches and weakness. Why would you want to go and get one of them? They're not very appealing at all. Are they? How long? This is stuff that people Google. How long does a hangover last? Only resolve in 24 hours, but those 24 hours can be rough due to symptoms including fatigue, thirst, dry mouth, headaches, body aches, nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, poor sleep, sensitivity to light, sound, dizziness, shakiness, irritability, and rapid heartbeat. I've had all of them. Would you say you've had all of them over your time? 100, pretty much every single time. What's this one? Why do we throw up when we're hungover? Drinking alcohol to excess can lead to the host of hangover symptoms, including throwing up. Vomiting is your body's response to excess toxins from alcohol in the body. While vomiting may make you feel awful, the risk from excess toxins can be damaging to your system. I used to vomit all the time. I used to throw my fingers down the throat to try and get rid of it so the body didn't have to process it as well, to the point that you'd just be like, my body would be like retching, trying to retch it up. Retch? Yeah, retch. Yeah, I'm going with retch. Dry reaching. Dry reaching, but it's spelled retch, isn't it? Yeah. So, dry reaching. Dry reaching. And just trying to get it out of the body so it didn't, because it couldn't process it either. There was nothing left there. It was just bile. Was this the next day or when you're still on the booze? No, the next day. The next day. Yeah. I reckon I've done that too before. Yeah, that was really make myself vom. Yeah, to try and just get rid of it. What's he say? What are the 3 causes of a hangover? Dehydration and electrolyte imbalance, the increased urine production, sweating, vomiting, and diarrhea that alcohol consumption causes dehydrates the body. This causes many common hangover symptoms such as thirst, weakness, dry mouth, nose, dizziness, and lightheadedness. Like, why would we want to go and do that? Isn't it?
Well,
mad?
we did it for so long. And
So
you just
long.
accept it. You just accept it. If you're going to have a night out, you accept that the fun's going to weigh out the next day. That's how I weigh it up, sort of thing. Like you would be prepared to suffer, because you wanted to have a loose night.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's how do I get rid of my hangover? 7 hangover remedies: drink fluids, getting some carbohydrates into your system, avoiding dark coloured alcohol beverages, taking pain reliever, but not Tylenol. I don't know why. Drinking coffee, tea, taking B vitamins and zinc, hair of the dog. That was classically me.
Classic,
Yeah, that was, so they're just a few points there, and we'll unpack our hangovers and what they looked and felt like, and also what the listeners have said as well.
But don't you reckon you would constantly be on the hunt to find the perfect hangover remedy?
Yeah. Did you have one?
No, I went through a phase where I'd get home and have two Panadol before bed, and a gastrolyte as well.
Yeah.
That was in my early 20s, that little remedy. Yeah. Or I drink a Barocca in a strongbow at the start of my drinking session. Yeah.
Wow.
In a strongbow, really classed it up.
It's like dry draft.
Oh, dry.
Nice.
Dry. And then obviously the next day I went through like a phase of like loving orange juice as well. Always have to have orange juice the next day. But obviously the prep work that would go into treating the hangover the next day.
Oh, we're exactly the same. Like, it blows my mind. It was always, a couple of Panadol before bed, a pint of water, pint of water. And did I say electrolyte, gastrolyte or hydrolyte before bed? Yeah, that was always, if I missed that, I knew I was going to be in real trouble. So that became a real solid part of the drinking.
And then there's actually a really good chapter in Alcohol Explained by William Porter. He's actually got a new book out too about exercise and diet.
I did see that.
Yes. I would have to get my little hands on that. But there's a chapter which I found fascinating in his book, and I'm not going to even begin to try and attempt to relay it, but it's all about how drinking water is actually counterproductive when you're hungover because something about something.
Get the book.
Get the book, Alcohol Explained. But I was blown away by that. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And we think we're doing the right thing. It's something like your body can't absorb. I don't know. I'm not going to attempt to say it because I'll get it wrong.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But I was fascinated by it because we thought water was the answer, like smash water when you get home. Next day, smash water. But then you can't quench that thirst. Sometimes I'd have chocolate milk.
Oh,
like
chocolate
Big M.
milk?
Mix it up and always have like a Powerade as well on hand.
Yeah, your Powerade is always goodie.
Yeah. But none of them truly worked.
No. It's just writing it out, writing out the time, isn't it? But I think, and I could never sleep. Like my brother, he just sleep.
The irritability.
Sleepy, and I just could never sleep. So I think my biggest thing was it was notoriously famous for backing it up to be able to go. The only way to beat a hangover is stay drunk, or just best way to cure a hangover is back it up. Pour more booze on it. And that is the way that I cured my hangovers, because I would never be as hungover as what I was on the Monday than I was on the Sunday. I don't know why or what.
Yeah, why is that? Do you reckon that's a mental thing, knowing that Sunday is potentially a day to drink again?
Yeah.
So, but then Monday, got to suck it up?
Yeah, placebo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
But like as bad as that sounds, it did cure it, didn't it, mate? Like, don't you reckon as bad as that sounds? You get back on it.
100%. And that's exactly right. And I was talking to a friend recently about how alcohol absolutely does work to numb pain, your emotions, and to make you feel better just for that short amount of time. Absolutely.
And you'd always say the first one went down like razor blades, like it's going down like razor blades. And then next minute you're 3 or 4 deep, you're like, woo, I'm back.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed those Sundays because everything was just a bit bent, like it was a bit loosey-goosey. So I actually really did enjoy I do miss that now too, when everything, and you talk about it too, when you're around with the girls and you rehash the night before and everything's just funny. Everything's just a bit twisted.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon? Your heads are just a little bit sideways and it's just, everything's just funnier. So I always preferred the Sundays. And I think, was I telling you about how friends were saying if they have say there's a wedding on a Saturday, they would get on the piss on the Thursday night.
Oh, yeah, because it's practically the weekend. Yep.
Or was it the Friday night? They would work it out so that the Sunday session, because the Sundays are funnier, so they would have it, so the Sunday would be the Saturday. Does that make sense?
Yeah, got ya.
Because Sunday, so it's always funnier 2 days later, like on the Saturday.
So Friday wedding, probably Friday wedding then.
Friday wedding.
I don't know.
Yeah. So
did you spend your hangovers doing your head in?
Until I poured booze on it.
Yeah.
That first initial when you wake up and go, what the fuck, where am I? What happened? And then the doom, the sense of doom that kicks in, and then the shame, guilt, remorse, look through your phone, look at the photos. Was I funny? Or it's fucked, cringe, few laughs.
And then people telling you what you did. Oh. Do you remember doing that last night?
Yeah.
Oh, God, do you remember what you said last night?
Yep. Just looking for any reassurance to say you're okay. What you might have posted on the stories or
See, I never got I think, well, thank goodness social media wasn't really big in my 20s and even in my 30s, but in my 20s, thank God social media wasn't.
Oh, how lucky are we? We would have been cancelled,
mate.
We would have
Or I just think that there would be a lot more regret and shame wrapped around the hangover the next day.
Oh, I think even actually a friend posted a photo of me back in London days when I was absolutely sideways, like my jaw was that way, my head was that way, my eyes were like, it was putrid. It was not for public consumption.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have put it up. Like, it was just wrong. And I did ask them to remove it.
Yeah, I've done that before as well.
Yeah.
I had to phone a friend and say, can you take those photos down, please?
No good, Robbo.
No good, Robbo. What have our punters said? What have our listeners?
Yeah, let's have a look. So we threw this out to the crowd, and I'll read the first four. Have you got the other?
Yeah, I'll bring them up.
Yeah. All right. So, she's given us, I don't know if there's enough space for this, so I don't know where the rest of her message has gone. I better have a look and see if she's DM'd it. But she's pretending I was fine, but really feeling ashamed, regretful, and full of self-loathing. Oh, the ashamed, regret, self-loathing. Is there any?
When I read that one, I was like, boom. Did I write that?
Yeah, is that you? Is that you here?
Be on a different alias.
Oh,
yeah, that's the emotions. The emotions. I think the emotions, like the shame, the regret, and self-loathing. That's what I would think. They'd be stuck in my head, and people say it's not that bad. Can we just hit pause, Maso? My kids are ringing.
Yeah, do.
Sorry.
All right, she's back. She's back. How are the kids?
I'm back. Yep, all good. So nice to see their little faces.
I love this family podcast.
Yeah, that's it. Kids say hi, Maso.
Hi, Kiddlywink. So cute. I love this. All right. So where did we get to?
We got to the first one, which was those emotions of feeling ashamed, regretful, full of self-loathing.
Self-loathing.
Yuck.
Have you ever hated yourself more than when you're hungover?
Nah.
Do you hate yourself on a normal day?
Nah.
No. Pretty heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty heavy. Yeah. That regret.
Yeah. And there's nothing you can do about it. You just want that reassurance. You're constantly wanting that reassurance, but then you're too scared sometimes to ask someone because you're like, I don't want to know what they're going to say.
Like Kirsty was talking about, she doesn't know whether she killed someone. She can't be too sure if she did or she didn't, and then she doesn't want to ask because that 2 hours of waiting for somebody to reply to say no, you didn't is worse than actually the thing.
Yep. It's just a mental
wild, isn't it?
head.
Oh, totally. It's just the worst. Guilt, shame, remorse. What have we got here? We've got another listener says, mine was sheer hell. I seriously just wanted to die.
Heavy.
Yeah, rest in peace. It's honestly like the higher you go up, the harder you come down. It's just
Absolutely.
the worst. Like it's just wild that we can just have the best time just off our faces, just high as a kite with a head full of piss, just like Larry, woohoo, like doing all the crazy shit. And then the next day you just feel like you want to die to make it go away.
You want to
That's
climb the walls.
awful. Yeah, awful. And then we've got this last one here before I handball to you for the wrap up of our listeners is I just drank through them, hiding my pain with more booze, or I would punish myself with exercise.
Yes.
Hard relate to the hiding the pain with more booze. That's absolutely me. We've spoken about that. I actually really enjoyed it. I couldn't wait to wake up and just neck whatever was around, like rosé, cider, red wine out of a mug, just a real rat, just trying to get it in there, just pooch, just disgusting. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it because it became a way of life, it became a coping mechanism. The punish with alcohol, with exercise, I find is really interesting. A guy that we used to live with in Bendigo, we're going to give you a shout out, Laddie, Cameron Ladd. He used to always go to the YMCA every Sunday morning, go for a swim and a sauna and have a workout. I don't know how he did it. Blows my mind that people exercise, but I think you've done a bit of a punishment with exercise, haven't you, Breeza?
Oh, no, I did more so I went and bought like lots of different sort of drinks for the next day, as in like to hydrate, and I made myself walk around the lake before I had a drop of like water or orange juice. Not sure why. Self-punishment.
The punishment. All right, what have you got?
So the next listener has said, like all the serotonin and happiness had been sucked out of my brain and body. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Empty, just empty.
The happiness, serotonin and happiness. It's
brain and body.
Yeah. That's
just nothing going on.
Just a void. A body of void.
Yeah, just a black hole. The next one was death. Can never drink an Aperol Spritz ever again. What's your drink you can't ever drink again, Maso?
Black Zambuca. If I smell even ouzo or any licorice or black Zambuca for a long time, I'd like dry itch. That was remember that was one of the first stories that I shared on the pod, how I absolutely dropped my biscuit and I was at the Brown Arms Hotel in Bendigo and smashed pots. I was real blind and I woke up in vomit. It was like just a hot mess because I smashed. Oh, and I hate licorice. I hate any aniseed. But hero. Yeah, righto, hero. You like down the hatch on the Black Zambucas and just push me over the edge. Even talking about it now is making me feel sick.
Oh, let's move on. Next one is
my mouth. Oh.
All right, we're moving on. Next one is horrendous. Piping hot showers for the headache and waiting for the Panadol to kick in. That's no fun, is it?
Shower.
Yeah, but nothing can cure it. You're constantly trying to find ways, but like even swimming. In summer, I used to love going out wakeboarding the next day because I felt like the cool water on your body would help with the hangover and wash it away, sort of thing. So I used to love. That used to be a bit of a go-to, like a swim in a nice river.
A swim,
in like nature. But your mouth would still be cotton mouth.
Good.
So next one was mainly tired, burning eyes, cranky, eating shit food, headache, not wanting to do anything. Yes, I went through a phase where I was having salad rolls, chicken salad rolls, because it made me feel healthier. Nice. But that I just was coming off like fried Mars bars. Don't knock until you try them, peeps.
I'm here with it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, fried Mars bars was always good. Or big feet of greasy fish and shit. But then I converted to chicken salad rolls, and maybe it was good. I felt better in my head that I was having something healthy.
It's funny you say that. One of our close friends, actually, whenever she was hungover, she'd be always sniffing around for a fruit salad, and I was like, "What the fuck? Fruit salad? What are you doing?" I would bag her out so hard. I'm like, nah. Like I needed my triple threat. So my hangover day would be Macca's, breakfast, like a bacon egg muffin, hash brown, orange juice, still in whatever I was wearing, probably the night before. Then lunchtime was KFC, twist a meal. with a 7-Up. And then watched my friend and I, we used to watch Saw movies in the afternoon. Like Saw, the horror films, really messing your head up. And then we'd order, it was called Goofy's. It was a pizza shop in Essendon, and we lived about less than 100 metres from the pizza shop, and we'd order it to be delivered, like so Goofy's lunch. So Macca's KFC pizza, triple threat, my favourite day ever, and just be absolute slobs. Wouldn't shower all day.
Yeah.
Just disgusting. Just sitting around in your swill, just being puke, drinking Pepsi Max or back on the gas. Yeah, just rank.
I've got a friend who'd always have pizza pockets. She'd always sniff out pizza pockets from Coles, because I think that's really soupy that would have them in Bendigo. So she'd always have them ready to go.
Pizza pockets.
For when she got home and the next day.
I love that. But yeah, fruit salad on a hangover. Could never
get
it.
Rank. No.
All good. All full praise to her though. And the last one actually is a friend said, sometimes my hangovers look like porridge. So she actually like she'd spew. She had a vomit over the side of the bed, and one of our other friends came in and said, porridge, because it just looked like a pile of porridge next to the bed. So it was all a joke the next day about how this pile of vomit on the side of the bed looked like a pile of porridge. So,
I mean, I love porridge. I'm a porridge gal, as you know.
Yeah.
But not when it's someone else's vom.
Ooh,
there's not. And but the other thing too, which we haven't chatted about, is people who don't get hungover.
Mm. Yeah.
How's that a thing?
Yeah, I looked it up actually. It's genetics. Just basically
is that right?
Genetics. Yeah. Yep. Well, there's two things. It's either, from my understanding, it's either genetics or you just top up drunk. So you're actually just staying that way. Like if you're drinking a lot, you're just topping up each time. So you don't even have to get hungover.
But for binge, like I know a binge drinker that would drink probably most weekends, and he doesn't get hung.
Yeah. Well, the other thing with that is, so genetics play a big part in it, the top up drinking, but then also I think if people are so used to being like that all the time, they don't even know where to hang.
They identify as a hangover.
They just go, this is just normal life.
Yeah, got ya.
And there could be that bit of denial in it too, just going, well, no, I'm all right. I'm sweet. I don't want to be hungover, so I'm just going to tell everyone I don't get hungover. When they probably absolutely do.
But the tiredness is a big one, like, because obviously if you're having less sleep, it's got to come sort of catch up somehow. Like the tiredness is a biggie.
It might not hit them till throughout the week.
Yeah,
like they're not up and about saying they feel amazing, are they?
Yes.
They might say I don't get hungover, but they're not bouncing off the wall.
Yeah,
running a marathon on a Sunday, are they?
True. And I wonder what that would look like if they had a month off, and then they'd realise, oh gosh, I do get hangovers.
Yes, exactly right, because it's become their norm.
Yeah.
They just know they're going to feel like shit on a Sunday.
Have you heard of that remedy called Bay juice? I think it's called BAE juice. That's like a. I'm going to look it up on Insta as we're chatting. I'm pretty sure that's like they market it as a hangover remedy. Don't know what's in it. Don't know. Don't know anything about it.
Or the hairy lemon or something.
I think it's the hairy lemon. Yeah, Bay juice. Yeah, Bay juice is. Drink me before. So it's 100% Korean pear juice. There's a red flag right there. I had a night on pear cider. Let me tell you, there was a massive queue for the toilet, and I nearly didn't make it. So pear juice, 100% Korean pear juice, and it says drink me before alcohol. So, it's a preventator. But, they market it very much to say, like, drink it before you hit the piss, basically. Don't you think
it's like, don't you find it really funny how many well-being sort of, I don't know, influencers or whoever it is pop up on Instagram, giving us the tips to how to avoid a hangover? And the shit that's on there, I just am having a bit of a cackle, and I'm just like, just don't drink, mate.
Just don't drink, mate, yeah.
Like,
save yourself money.
You've got to take all these vitamins, you've got to do all these things, and leading up to it, and it's got all these like key points of how to avoid a hangover. And I'm just like, why are you trying to prevent a hangover? Do you know what I mean? But I would have been straight onto that though.
Oh, totally. I would have been all over it and sharing all, like I reckon, like that was a massive quest, is how do you get over a hangover? And like you'd share tips and stuff. But now the simple advice is just don't drink.
Well, exactly right. And that's right. Like you think about the things that we talked about at the start of this topic, like all of those things. If you were to say, all right, I'm going to have a weekend, I'm going to have all of these things on Sunday. This is how I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour a shit ton of booze in my body because I can't wait to feel, headache, fatigue, dizziness, nausea, dehydration, sensitivity to light, noise, thirst, diarrhea, and lethargy. Can't wait for that on a Sunday. Woohoo!
But again, it's that mindset.
Yeah.
Like, because again, I know, speaking from my experience in my 20s and 30s, I would totally accept that I'm going to be hungover. Totally accept that it comes hand in hand. Yeah. So if I can do anything to prevent it, where I can still drink, then I'm all for it. I'm going to try every little remedy possible. But now that both our mindsets have changed, you're like, wow, why did we suffer?
Why did we do that?
Yeah.
Because at no stage did you ever think about not drinking?
Shit, no. Nah, was non-negotiable. Maybe I'd drink more water at the end of the night because I wanted to wake up fresh. That's the mentality that I run with.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't an option to not drink.
100%. At no stage did you ever go, oh, maybe I shouldn't drink.
Yeah. No.
It's just, how do we cope with the hangover? Madness. Absolute madness. Ridiculous. But now, look at us now. We're not wasting our lives. Cooper Chapman talked about the amount of days that you lose in your life being hungover in a year.
Yeah.
Because you write the day off by being, sleeping, feeling shit, not doing anything, just you're writing half of your life off. One, what is it? Four times a month?
Every Sunday? If you're drinking every Saturday, for example. Been drinking every Saturday night, which is typically our pattern, I would say. It's 4 days a month, which is like, then do the math, 48 days, is that right? 48 days a year?
There you go.
Oh, that's a lot, isn't it?
That's more than a month. More than a month, you're actually just playing dead for a day, writing your life off, doing you're not living your best life. You are not living your best life.
I'm just sitting with that. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's 1 year.
That's 1 year.
In my 20s, that's what, 480 days. It's over a year. Oh, do the math, people. Do the math.
Yeah, do the math. Wait up. So there you go. There's your hangover. Just don't drink. Give it a spell. Bring on the non-alcs. Get on the Pash. Get on the Altina.
That's it. Or you might want to mix it up with
start living your life. There you go. Yum.
Get Daddy Hatch. All righty. Good little hit out, Maso.
It's a phone fucking with the PH. So we can give it F with the call attacks. Phone fucking with the PH.
Great chat. Now, today's phone fuck up.
Yeah. What do you got?
PH. Comes from a friend who was on the receiving end of one. And this is quite
different.
It's quite a nice, light-hearted one. So her friend,
right.
So her name is Fee, and her short for Fiona. Hi, Fee.
Yeah.
Her friend, he has a sister called Fee as well.
Okay.
So Christmas Day, he was boozed up. Thought he'd call his sister Fee to wish her Merry Christmas and have a big convo. He rang my friend Fee instead. And he's like, "G'day, sissy, how are ya? Merry Christmas, blah, blah, blah." So she let him go for a bit, and then she's like, "Oi, such and such, it's not Fee's sister, it's Fee. And he kept going. So it wasn't until about 5 minutes in, because he was real up and about on the piss, and then she's like, "Oi, such and such, it's actually, it's Fee. I'm not your sister." He was like real deflated. Had to regroup and then obviously call his sister. But yeah, when you're in that moment and you're just so happy and everything's great, and then you're like, "Oh, damn, wrong person."
Yeah.
It's like when you're in customer service and you tell them the problem, they're like, "I'll just put you through to the right area." And you're like, "Oh, okay, I've got to do this all again."
The great example of that. I love
It's always
that.
nice to ask, am I in the right department? Am I in the right, area before you do their spiel?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, am I talking to the right person?
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you for sharing, Fee. But that is a nice little lighthearted one. I love that.
Was, yeah. A little giggle.
It's time for the recommendation of the week.
Oh, well, Maso. I've got a book
Yeah.
called, and I know you've been all over this,
goodness.
Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. We all love Jay Shetty because we all listen to his podcast.
Yeah.
I think this was the very first book he wrote. And have you read it?
I've got an audiobook.
Oh, ripper. Yes, this is 2020. 2020 it was. That's not that old, actually. I can't get enough of it. Cannot get enough of it. This should be in schools. Like, it's just so many pearls of wisdom, and I love it. So I'm only a little bit in it, but been just frothing over it.
Oh, we just froth over Jay Shetty as a whole and his wife. My God, they're just a power couple. But isn't he brilliant? That's great. Great reco. Love that, Breeza. Ripper.
What about you, Maso?
I'm just going to recommend just saying yes to things. Just say yes.
Yes.
Just say yes. I had a default, obviously, when we first got off the piss. I think we just kind of go into a bit of isolation, don't we? And just sort of not get amongst it. We have that real social anxiety. And now I'm just saying yes to shit. Just saying yes. Just doing stuff, doing fun stuff. I'll just hog this and give you 2 more recommendations for people who are on the gluten-free. I went to Hawker Boys in Hardware Lane. It's a little Thai restaurant, and they have gluten-free spring rolls, vegetarian spring rolls, and gluten-free dumplings. It's such a treat.
Awesome.
To be able to have both of those was a real treat. And also I went to, and this is where I said yes, I had a friend saying, I just saw on Instagram, a friend shared this place. It's called Ciao Mama. It's in Brunswick and it's celiac accredited. It's an Italian restaurant that is celiac accredited. Accredited by Celiac Australia. It's an Italian restaurant. Normally that's just a hard no. You're never going to an Italian restaurant if you're gluten-free because it's just like pasta bread, pasta bread.
Bloat.
And I was able to go to that. There was so many options. I was able to have entree, main and dessert, the whole lot, and so many options. So highly recommend both of those places as well if you're in Melbourne town.
Great reco.
Yes.
Saying yes. Yes. And it will work out. It will work out.
It always does, because wouldn't you rather have that growth and feel so good after trying and experiencing something new, getting out of your comfort zone, than just sitting there in that safe little place where your default is always no and you're not experiencing anything? Just say yes. Put yourself out there. What's the worst that will happen? You'll actually have an experience, and and that growth comes from that too. So yes, it's a yes from me.
Just before we wrap up, that was me last year, Maso, or still this year, but last year I was like, I'm saying yes to opportunity, and I got asked by one of the DJs on the local radio station to do the brekkie show with him because his co-host was on holidays. I'm like, yep. And I just said yes straight away. I'm like, I'll work out logistics with kids and everything else, after I already said yes. So I'm just like, yep, lock me in. And it was so fun. It was so fun.
You would have been brilliant, Breeza. I
loved it. I did it a couple of mornings and I just loved it.
Oh, so you would have been on fire. You can see you beaming from it. That's so cool. That absolutely terrifies me, but you are good for it. You're always up for throwing stuff out there. So
it's fun. And then this is episode 88 too, by the way. 88.
88 is my favourite number.
Yeah. Numbers.
Yeah, love that. It's a big deal. It's a big deal coming at you. Feel the goodness coming through, everybody. All right. Here we go. Go chuck on. Throw us a review, 5 stars, share it with your mates, get the word out there, because it will definitely help someone out there for sure. Thank you.
Thanks guys. Thanks, E-Dog. Bye. See you, Maso. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is proudly produced by our audio engineer, music extraordinaire, Eric Ladd.
We love you, Eric.